elementary school, I didn't always have the best time. And it was not because of a lack of friends or social skills. On the contrary, even. It all had to do with a subject everyone has a love and I guess mostly hate relationship with, mathematics. Back then, although I liked the concept, I didn't really have the analytical and abstract thinking skills that math typically requires. And my math teacher saw that in me. Already from the start, he forced us to memorize arithmetic rules by heart and to base calculations on very long stories. And therefore, I thought as a kid that there is no creativity at all involved in mathematics, which is, as I know now, not true. Well, because of all of this, my teacher recommended me to not pursue anything math related in high school. And at that time, it felt as the opportunity to discover something new and something in which you can use creativity was taken from me. And at that time, that's quite impactful. And therefore, I felt like a bird with broken wings. Okay. A few years later, I was in high school and I met my new mathematics teacher, who fitted quite the mathematical stereotype. He even lived in a monastery. Already from the start, he saw something in me, and he encouraged me to let my curiosity and confidence grow. For example, when others were struggling, he recommended me to help them, which let their confidence and my confidence grow. And when I had to do my final graduation project, he was the first in line as a supervisor to show me that I could solve a complex and hard mathematical problem with creative thinking. And it really felt as if this teacher gave me my confidence back. A few years later, when I was about to graduate high school, our high school required its students to visit open days of universities. And as I was still a stubborn and annoying teenager, I crossed all the studies starting with business, because that's how you become rich, right? Well, one of those studies was business analytics here at the VU Amsterdam, which is a form of applied mathematics. And I remember that open day very well. There was one professor, Professor Boulay, who I now know as Sanjay and who is here in the audience today, who was especially telling about strategically placing ambulances across the Netherlands in such a way that their response times to accidents considerably lowered. So he was actually saving lives with mathematics. How cool, right? And that was the topic that I was excited about and that I was good at. And it really felt that I had to sign up for the bachelor, which I did, and I finished it with a lot of fun. And it really felt that Sanjay gave me my passion back for mathematics. Later, I even started the master in business analytics. But unfortunately, already quite quickly after the start, COVID happened, which forced all students to work from home. But there was one course in which we could team up as students, which we obviously did. So me and my friends signed up, and the professor gave us an assignment on how to strategically place vaccination locations across the Netherlands and how to allocate vaccines over those locations efficiently. Well, we started the project with a fun and eager mindset, and from there it became a whole roller coaster. Our professor liked our results so much that he forwarded it to the GGD, which is in English the Dutch organization who is responsible for the COVID-19 vaccination campaign. And they liked our results also so much that they decided to hire us as analysts, which led to a publication in an academic journal, and we won a national prize. But most importantly, contrary to my young, annoying self, we contributed to a big societal problem with mathematics. And later, thank you, the same professor convinced me to pursue a PhD under his supervision here at the VU, which I'm doing now with a lot of fun as well. So along the way, I met people who broke my wings, but also people who helped me heal them. And I've learned that this is the case for many mathematicians, even the most brilliant ones with even bigger struggles. So for example, there's Alan Turing, who you might know from a famous movie, and who is considered to be the founding father of computer science. He even cracked, back in the days, the Enigma machine from the Nazis during the Second World War, which helped kind of end the war. But despite all of this, he was persecuted for simply being gay. And then there's Mariam Mirzakhani, who really had doubts about herself before becoming the first woman to win the Fields Medal, which is the mathematical equivalent of the Nobel Prize. And finally, there's Katherine Johnson, whose calculations literally contributed to sending people into space. But during the whole of her career, she faced racial segregation and gender discrimination, despite the fact that she literally sent people to the moon. So, this is to say that mathematicians are not magical creatures. They also struggle with math and with their path. None of us were born with perfect wings, but most of us learn to fly because someone along the way supports us. Thank you.
You did it! One more time for Berend!